Hi, this is Mike, and this is a quick and small tutorial on how we can set up our database at MongoDB Atlas. It's been a while since I've created a video. Because of the new interface, I thought I'll walk you through the basic steps. So once you've signed in, you would probably see this page where you have no project. So I'm going to create a new project that is my course project for Web 2, for example. You can name this anything you want. Name it something very easy. Click next. I am the project owner. That should be fine for now. We're going to create that project, and then that project will hold different clusters, if you will, that will hold your database eventually. So now that you have your project, you can create a cluster. You hit on create. And normally there are multiple paid tiers. We're going to be taking the free tier for learning and exploring MongoDB. So I'm going to name the cluster 0 is fine by us. You can find a region. We're going to keep the default setup for AWS. And I think there's a Belgian one. Let me just check. Not here, maybe in Google Cloud. Yeah, so in Google Cloud there's a Belgian one, Europe West one, that is recommended, and of course low carbon footprint, always handy. I'm not going to do the advanced configuration now. I'm going to create my deployment, and then it should be starting my cluster. Now, some things to add here. So we have an IP, and we have a database user. You need that database user to be able to log in. So for the demo purposes, although I would suggest you take something more secure, is taking the username name. For example, I can take admin Mike, so I know it's my account, and take a password that you can work with. So for example, I'm going to take a password here. That's my database user, create it, and now I can access my database from outside. You need a user to access your database, so now I have set my user, and I can choose a connection method. We will see this in the lesson, the connection method, and how you can use that to access your database through Node.js, through PHP, through any setup basically. But the most important thing here is the drivers. So if you go to the driver, you choose Node.js, which is the one we will be using, 6.7 or later, which is fine. It's the latest version. And now you see that you can run just npm install MongoDB, and you will have the package in your Node project, which is your backend server, your API for the course project, for example. And from then on out, you can use the MongoDB package to make a connection, retrieve data, all using the database user we just created. I can click on done. And it is being created now. So let's say if we want to go and look at our cluster, we can wait a bit here. We can go to clusters here on the left side, and then you have, it takes a while to create. Okay, the moment your cluster is created, you should see something like this. There is some visual data representation that you can use. I think the most important here is the connect and the collections itself. So connect means you will need to have a URL connecting straight to your database. So if you click on connect, you can check the drivers again. Remember that npm install. The moment now you need your URL specific for this database. So my user was called admin Mike, and of course I need to fill in that password in my code connecting to this database. This is the URL used. Do you want a full code sample? You can easily have a full code sample here. More on that session when we are talking about MongoDB. So again, this is where you find it. You click on connect, you go to drivers, you pick the software that you want to use, which in our case is Node.js, and you use this URL to connect. Next part is the collections themselves. So the collections are the databases, or is the actual database. This has the tables or the document collections basically. So you can load a sample data set, but I'm going to add my own data. So my database name is going to be, for example, this is just the overall database name. Course projects web 2, and I'm going to add 24-25, which is of course the academic year I'm creating this in. The collection name, let's say we have a users collection, just very simple, and we hit create, and now we have a users collection. There is no document in here. We will be editing this from the code, but the moment you need more collections, let's say you have a products, you have a likes, you have a reviews, so those are all collections that go into this database. So again, the levels are the cluster 0, which you're connecting to. Then you have a database which you separate per project. So you have one database for the project in Web 2, maybe for full project 3, which is another course you want to have also a database. You can just create a new database in here for that project. So let's assume we're just using the course project Web 2 for now. Let's say I want to create a user. I can insert a document and I can start typing, let's say the name of my user is Mike D. Can I have one more? Add field. Let's say email is of course my email, mike@ehb.be, for example. Insert, and then you will see an object in here that you can retrieve from code. So I hope this quick video can help you get your database up and running, and I'll see you in the next lesson.